Hi, I'm Tanya Hendrix. Who needs an estate plan? People ask that question quite a bit because there's different ideas and assumptions about estate planning. So basically, it comes down to, are you over 19 and are you still breathing? That is a short and sweet answer to that question, because anyone who's over 19 needs to have an estate plan. An estate plan is not just for what happens to your assets when you die. It is for what happens to you while you're still alive. Who's going to manage your bank account? Who's going to manage, like if you're stuck in the hospital for a lengthy period of time, who's going to make sure your bills are getting paid? You still have utilities that have to get paid. Maybe you have a mortgage or rent. You have a car note. There are different things that still have to be done even if you are incapacitated. So if you are stuck in the hospital for a period of time, or maybe you're incompetent, maybe you've been in a car accident and you have a traumatic brain injury. I mean, there are a lot of things that can happen while you're alive that it is really important you have an estate plan in place, because that estate plan can contain a power of attorney that allows someone to act on your behalf when you're not able to. But also, it does handle and manage what happens to your assets upon your death, which could be minimal, even if you don't have much in the way of assets. If you have a bank account, if you have a vehicle, if you have property, personal property, there are things that it requires going through the probate process in order to transfer those things. So a bank account, for example, if you do not have a payable on death beneficiary on your bank account, it is likely, and maybe you don't own your own home, but maybe you rent, but you have a bank account. It may require your loved ones going through probate court, like filing to open an estate in order to get access to the money in that bank account. I once had someone that had to pay me $1,500 to get access to $2,000 in a bank account. Don't do that to your family. There are ways you can avoid that, but having an estate plan in place helps avoid that, helps or makes that process easier, rather than it having to go through what's called an intestate estate, which adds cost, it adds time, it adds headache, stress, chaos. A lot of things can be avoided if you simply do a will and a power of attorney and an advance directive for health care. And maybe you're 20 years old, 21 years old, or maybe you have a child who's that age, and you're off at college and you get really sick. Who can make medical decisions for you if you don't have an estate plan, if you don't have that power of attorney in place? You may not have someone who can make decisions for you. Your family may not be able to make decisions for you. They may not be able to access anything related to you, to your bank accounts, to your medical decisions if you don't have that power of attorney in place. And so for parents, that may be something to think about, is making sure your college-age student and child has those things in place so that in case of emergency, you have the authority and the ability to make decisions, to make sure their bills are getting paid, to make sure their rent's getting paid, all those things. So who needs an estate plan? If you're over 19, you need an estate plan. I'm Tanya Hendrix, Huntsville estate planning lawyer. If I can help you prepare your estate plan, if you're in Alabama, I can help you prepare your estate plan. Again, Tanya Hendrix, Huntsville estate planning lawyer. Give me a call.